Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is SevrSevn, and today we have an interesting knife review. And what makes this interesting is that this is a knife that is well known, that already has a solid following, and that isn't necessarily something brand new to the market. However, and Civivi brazen, by the way. However, Civivi did a collaboration with Palmetto State Armory, and there's a lot of upgrades to this knife that make it feel like it is completely different than the brazen you're used to. And the sale it's on right now, absolutely ridiculous. As a matter of fact, I picked up two more. Let's jump into it. As far as the specs go, we're looking at an overall length of 7.98 inches, so basically a full-size knife. A blade length of 3.46 inches, close length of 4.52, and a blade stock thickness of 120 thousandths. So it's not super thin. We do have a flat grind, and this is coming with Nitro V steel, Rockwell between 59 and 61 HRC. Now with Nitro V, it's got a pretty wide optimum range of like 58 to 62, right? So 59 to 61 means that you're going to get ultimate, like maximum performance out of this steel based on its attributes. Now, as far as the attributes go, for Nitro V, you have a toughness, voice crack, I promise I went through puberty. You're going to have a toughness of 7.5 out of 10, an edge retention of 3 out of 10. So super tough, will not hold an edge very long, but inverse to that, that means it's going to be much, much easier to sharpen. And then you have a corrosion resistance of 7 out of 10. So what's cool about that, just to give you a scenario, if you were somebody that, went out into the field, you went camping, did outdoorsy stuff, with the toughness, you're not very likely to chip or break the blade. Well, less likely. I mean, obviously you can, stab a tree and rip it sideways that it's going to break. But with its toughness and its corrosion resistance, this is a knife that you can pretty confidently take out of the field with you, use it, let it sit in the mud for, for a minute or two, wipe it off with a towel and keep pushing, right? So this is definitely going to be a good outdoorsy knife. Now, with the ease of sharpening being, a 7 out of 10, that also means that if you take a strop with you and you need to touch the blade up while you're out in the field, so you'll be out there for a couple of days, you can easily strop this back up to a razor sharp edge, and then keep it pushing. Now, the blade comes with a satin finish, which I'm a huge fan of. And then we've got this, it is a Tonto, but it's kind of a drop point Tonto because you can see the tip doesn't come that much higher than the pivot. I mean, it's not centered like, like a drop point would be much more closer to centered, but being the way that it is, you can still get in and do those utility cuts. Or the advantage of it being an American Tonto is you have that secondary edge, and you can get in and you can do your cuts this way as well, right? So you can choose whichever tip you want to use for your cutting. Now, as far as the handle goes, and one of the things that makes this special is instead of a G10, we actually have a diamond textured aluminum. And that's on both sides. We have a titanium pocket clip. And as you can see, we don't have that weird swoop at the end. This is the standard pocket clip it comes with. Good retention, tip up, reversible, relatively deep carry. And then we have this little attitude adjuster on the back, which I could live without, truth be told. We also have a lanyard loop for those of you that like to carry your knife on a lanyard. We have a flipper deployment and thumb stud deployment. Reverse flick, obviously. All right, so and this does come in a variety of different colors and blade finishes also. So we've gone through specs now. More importantly, whenever you pull this knife out of the box, the first thing you're going to see is, the aesthetics. Now, Civivi doesn't do a ton of aluminum. They're typically G10 and micarta, predominantly G10 though. So I always like it whenever they spice it up and they put aluminum on the scales. And I could say that the diamond texture here is, let me see if I can get in the light. It's deep enough to give you a little extra traction, but not, I would say actually quite a bit of extra traction. But it's not so deep that it's going to become like a pain throughout the day, where you're just gripping diamonds into your fingers and, it's going to leave a mark or anything. So they did an excellent job with that diamond texture pattern. We do have some contouring. So if you take a look in here, edges are knocked down. And this lends itself to overall just a really comfortable experience. Back here, you can kind of see where the diamond texturing stopped. And we just kind of have a smooth, rounded off edge, right? And those things make this knife very comfortable. Maybe I'm not as sensitive as others, but I'm not feeling hot spots. I have no problem using this knife, sometimes for extended periods of time. And I think the no hot spots for me comes down to all the knockdown edges, but also this pocket clip, right? It doesn't feel like it's poking into me. It doesn't feel like it's jutting. It doesn't feel like it's doing things like this. So, you got plenty of room. I've got medium-sized hands or a large glove, and you can see I've got room to spare up here. I've got room to spare down here. And you really, because of the flipper tab, you really can't choke up right here, but you can kind of do a pistol grip and pretty easily fit yourself in right here. I'm not too worried about the tip. As long as I'm holding it like a trigger, I can do whatever I need to. As far as the action goes, Civivi's usually always got good action, but even for Civivi, the action on this is absolutely fantastic. Very snappy, very satisfying, and that's for all methods. Sometimes when you have multiple forms of deployment, they'll tune the knife for, let's say, the flipper tab, but then the thumb studs suffer, right? Because the detent might be weaker or might be too strong or something like that. But I can say that all forms of deployment on this brazen equally as satisfying. All right, now we're going to check out acoustics. So I'm going to flip it and close it a couple of times in silence. That way you know if these acoustics are something that appeal to you. All right, now as far as the disengagement, we do have good access to the liner lock. And, oh, I'm sorry for the shake. And you can see we've got these smooth, non-aggressive teeth to kind of help us catch for the disengagement. So the disengagement itself, it doesn't feel super satisfying. It just kind of feels like, it feels like you're disengaging kind of a toothy liner lock. Yeah, disengagement is important to me as far as how it feels to actually perform the disengagement. This one isn't bad. It's just not anything special. But as far as aesthetics go, I do find this to be a very handsome Civivi. Feel in hand, ergonomics are excellent. Action, super snappy, and the acoustics for me are satisfying because it makes a really full sound, kind of like a thwack sound. And they've got the detent dialed in so well that you could really sit there and fidget all day long and not get sick of it. Now, the other thing is this knife is only for sale at Palmetto State Armory, which I'll have a link below so you can get to the knife easily. The sale that this thing is on right now is absolutely ridiculous. Retails $103, which means that they're probably normally on sale for $85. Right now, every configuration of this knife can be had for about $45. $45 for milled aluminum handles, appropriately heat treated Nitro V stainless steel, and everything that comes with the quality from Civivi, but also this titanium pocket clip, right? Anytime companies do a collaboration, with like a retailer, they want to put some extra spice in there. They want to put their best foot forward. And I can say even at $75, $80, this knife would be worth it. But at $45, are you serious? Mind-blowing value. If you like the way this knife looks, if you like the acoustics, if this knife speaks to you, I can 100% recommend this knife, especially at the price point. The other colors, I think they have some black finish blades. I think they have a red version. Here, actually, let me take a quick peek and I can tell you. Yeah, so we've got a black on black. We've got a red with a stone wash. We've got a gray with a stone wash. We've got this version here, the black and the satin. And then we've got what looks like a gray and a black, right? And they're all $45.99. So link for that store will be below. I don't have an affiliate link. I don't have any discounts with them. To my knowledge, nobody does. So you just go to the link, and then pick the one or two you want, and free shipping, and that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe and follow me on Instagram at SevrSevn. That's at SevrSevn, where I upload photos and other content that knife enthusiasts would enjoy. I appreciate you for stopping by. I appreciate you for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.